welcome back once again to Around the Bases. I'm Grant Wall, joined as always by Winona State softball coach Greg Jones. And Coach, we're getting to the end of the season, just a few games left on the schedule, and I know that you got to take one game at a time, and each game is as important as the next. But you have 4 huge games this week, 2 against Wayne State, 2 against Augustana, the 2 teams that are ahead of you in the standings.
Yeah, and then with Duluth in there at the end too, obviously one game right behind us. It doesn't get any bigger than this, and we spend a lot of time talking to our kids about one game focus, and this is just why, because you can't control all of these things at the end of the year until you get to them. We've done a good job of doing that, of maintaining our one game at a time. We've put ourselves in position now at this point. But these are pretty huge games, obviously. We have to take care of our business now. We still control our own destiny. If we win out, we don't need help. Winning out against these 4 teams is going to be a tough task. We won't know till we play it, but we'll line them up and take our chances.
And while Wayne State and Augustana are the 2 teams that are ahead of you in the standings, you finished this weekend at Bemidji and then at Duluth. You mentioned Duluth is 1 game behind you in the conference standings, and Bemidji is another good team that is capable of beating anybody on a given night. So we can't forget about those 2 to close the season.
Yeah, Bemidji's that tough sandwich game in there where you get all keyed up for the Wayne and the Augie. Then you've got a 6-hour bus trip and have to play Bemidji. Mm-hmm. Bemidji's played everybody tough, and they played us tough the last 2 years. And it's a game where if you go out and take care of business, you probably take care. You're probably okay. But they're not going to lay down for us, and we have to go out and actually win the game. Nobody's going to hand you anything this time of year. And Duluth at Duluth, and this is my 11th year. I've never been to Duluth, mm-hmm. and so it's my first ever trip up there. So for everybody else involved, it's their first trip there too. And Duluth has played a great schedule so far. They're the one team. The one advantage they have is they're 3-1 against Wayne and Augie, all at home, and so they're playing well at home as well.
And to get to this point where you control your destiny, had to get through last weekend. Let's spend a few minutes revisiting that. After scuffling a little bit on an 8-game road trip, going 5-3 2 weeks ago, return home for 4 games, notch 4 big wins. Did you feel that you kind of hit your stride once again? Getting those 4 wins last weekend?
I think it was just big for us to get back home. We were on the road a long time, mm-hmm. and we're basically gone for 9 days, and I think we needed to get home. We needed some time off. We needed to just get refocused again. I felt coming out of that Mary game that we really played well. I thought that was as well as we had played really since maybe early March. I told the team I thought it was probably the best we played since we played Mankato in the Dome right after Florida. I thought, we just played focused on what we wanted to accomplish on our team and didn't worry about who or what or the standings or anything else, what the expectation was. We just played. We played loose, we played free, we played energetically, and we capitalized on some opportunities. And so I thought it was a great weekend. Hopefully we can keep that going.
And those games against Mary on Saturday, 2 games, won them in 2 different styles, able to stake yourself to a big lead in game 1 and win kind of going away. But then game 2 fell behind and had to use a 3-run homer from Callie Givens later in the game to finally get on top. Is it, as much as you'd like to blow everybody out every time, is it nice to maybe have one of those games where you have to scratch and claw your way back?
When it's over, yes.
As long as you win.
When it's all said and done, you feel like we needed that.
Mm-hmm.
We needed to make sure we could come from behind again. We needed to see that we're capable of that and have that type of mental toughness. As I'm experiencing a migraine sitting on my bucket during the game, it's not nearly as much fun. Right. But post game, yes, you're really proud of the kids that they were able to overcome it. I thought the big thing for us in that Mary game all day, both games, was hit the ball out of the ballpark
mm-hmm.
again. We hadn't done that for being so good and have such good power numbers throughout the year. I said after Mankato, it's just frustrating because their balls were leaving the park and ours weren't, and we were hitting doubles off the fence and they were hitting home runs, and it was nice to see us hit the ball out of the ballpark again. And nobody goes up there swinging for that, and I thought that's what was great is our approach was very good. We weren't trying to hit home runs. We just hit the ball hard and they happened to leave the park. But to get instant offense like we did, to get 3-run homers and grand slams, those are big inning changers right there.
And on the day, both Mollie Link and Mollie Bjelland, 2 home runs apiece. We're going to talk to Mollie Bjelland here in a minute, but you had to smile seeing her have a game like she did against Mary Saturday on senior day. her kind of go out in style?
Senior day is a tough day. It's always tough for seniors because you never know where their focus exactly is going to be that day. I couldn't be more proud of 5 kids that mean so much to this program for the day they had, to watch Mollie Bjelland go out and hit 2 home runs. And again, we hope that there's a lot more home games, to come at Alumni Field for this crew. We know there's at least 2 more doubleheaders this week. We'd like to put ourselves in position for postseason play there. We'll have to see how that goes, but to know that was their day, that we were going to honor them, to have Mollie end her career like that, at home, was really special. The same thing for Callie, and to hit that 3-run homer, 2 outs, 2 strikes, and Courtney to get 2 wins on the day, and the defense that Katie and Dallas played. It's like I continue to say, you can't write that. I mean, that they just created their own script, they created their own moment, and it was amazing.
And I know from spending time with you how highly you think of this group of 5 that are playing in their final season here at Winona State.
Yeah, we can't replace them. We'll never be able to replace this group. This group was brought in, obviously 4 years ago with some great expectations. We knew at the time it was the best class we'd ever signed. We knew that the expectation for them was to take us to new heights. And each level, and I've been here for 11 years, and the first group was, okay, let's start to win some games. Let's get this thing turned in the right direction. From there, you're able to recruit a little better group. You say, okay, now let's go win a conference championship. And the next group then, which was this group, was brought in to really get us on the national stage, and they've done that, and they've taken us to the World Series. They've won regional tournaments now. They've won conference tournaments and things of that nature. We hope that they can go out on just as high of a note.
And one of those seniors that you mentioned already, Courtney Strang, we've talked all year about how she's really been the workhorse of this pitching staff. But she pitched in 3 of those 4 games last weekend, picked up the win in all 3. What she's been doing on the, in the circle for you this season is really remarkable. I mean, she's been kind of the stabilizing force that has kept driving this team forward.
She has. She had a couple rough outings when we were on the road. Yep. She had a couple very good outings and a couple rough outings. And she and I had a little bit of a conversation here and when we got back about things. And I was just really happy to see her come out and get after it and throw like she threw. And we're a team that's going to win with our pitching and our defense. That's what we've always been. That's who we'll always be. And when some games were getting away from us on the mound, I think she was frustrated. I was frustrated. And I think for as many innings as she's logged, I think she was starting to run out of gas a little bit. And now it's just it's gut check time. And you're going to be tired. You're going to be sore. Every pitch you throw is going to hurt at this point. So it's just swallow deep and let's go. Yeah. And I thought she was really able to do that this week. And to come back in relief and get that second win, I think it was a testament to her toughness.
Absolutely, and it's going to be fun going forward this week. The big one, the 8 games starting Wednesday, Wayne State here at Alumni Field. Thursday, Augustana also at Alumni Field here in Winona. It's going to be fun to watch. Hopefully we'll get 4 wins out of it and get on our way towards the postseason. Thanks for joining us, Coach. When we come back, Warrior senior Mollie Bjelland will sit down with me and talk a little bit more about her final campaign in the purple and white.
Warrior Club makes it possible for me to compete at a national level and give back to the community.
By donating $100 or more, you can become a member of the Warrior Club and help Winona State student-athletes achieve the extraordinary. Call 507-457-2705 or visit WinonaStateWarriors.com. Every member counts.
Welcome back to Around the Bases, joined now by Warrior senior outfielder Mollie Bjelland. And Mollie, another really successful season for you, coming off an All-American campaign as a junior. Now this year as a senior, was it important for you to get off to a hot start so that you could kind of prove to everybody that this is a player I am? I'm a 2-time All-American, not just someone who won the award as a junior.
Yeah, there's always expectations to do well, and you always want to do well for yourself and for your team. And, I started out the season pretty well, and it just kind of progressively continued through.
That's right, and you're batting over 360. It's got to help. You're obviously an All-American candidate, but you have another All-American candidate batting in front of you, and then another one behind you in Mollie Link and Kathy Crudo, both of those two batting over 400. How nice is it every time that you go up to the plate knowing that you have that bookend, someone in front of you who's going to get on base, and then someone behind you, if you get a base hit, is going to send you home?
You know, it's great. You know, it means that we're always on base, and it really takes pressure off from me. You know, having someone in front of me, and if I can't get the job done, I know Curto's going to step up and get a big hit.
How confidence does the offense have right now? I mean, 1 through 9, there's not an easy out anywhere in that lineup. How confident are you, each game?
Like you said, 1 through 9, we're solid. This is the best hitting team I've ever been on, and you know, other teams should be scared of facing us.
Absolutely, and you have somebody, Dallas leading off, gets on base. Mollie already has 16 doubles. We know your career stats, the only player in school history with 200 hits, 35 home runs, 170 RBIs. We can keep going and going and going. But there's not a single out. If you're an opposing pitcher, what do you try to do to slow down the Warrior offense?
You know, I don't even know. Anywhere you look in our lineup, we're solid. And, you know, they get through 1 through 4, they still have 5 through 9 that they have to get around.
You have to be happy that it's not a problem that you have to worry about,
right,
trying to slow the Warriors down. Going forward, this is last week of the season's coming up here. Start off tomorrow with Wayne, Thursday play Augustana, and then games this weekend at Bemidji and Duluth. Wayne and Augie are the 2 teams ahead of you in the conference standings right now. So obviously, I don't need to ask you how big a week it is because it's huge. You know, it's kind of for all the marbles. But what are you guys? What are you trying to do so that you can take care of business this week? Approaching anything any differently?
You know, we're just trying to stay focused. And when we played Mary this past weekend, you know, we were just focused on us and playing well as a team and playing for each other. And I think if we don't focus on Augie or Wayne or who our other opponents are, I think we'll do pretty well.
And then once this regular season's over, obviously I have the conference tournament and then the regionals to go as well. How do you peak so that once you hit regionals and start trying to go through that gauntlet, how do you peak so when you hit that, you're hitting your stride?
You know, we just keep working hard all year. You know, we focus on every play, every practice. We're always trying to accomplish something, and I think as long as we keep that continuing through regionals, I think we'll be doing okay.
Final question for you. You're a senior. This week's going to be your last go-around here at Alumni Field in Winona. Is it hard to believe that the time's over for you?
Yeah, 4 years definitely have gone by really fast, and I've enjoyed all of it. Mm-hmm. There hasn't been any upsets that I've felt or any regrets, and it's been a good ride.
Well, good, and hopefully we'll get to see you keep playing for quite a while this spring as you start to advance through the postseason. That's all the time we have here on Around the Bases. For Coach Jones, Mollie Bjelland, and Don Veith behind the camera, I'm Grant Wall. Thanks for joining us.